The same crew that worked game one in Townsville were underway, and the home side gets to draw first blood. Center Bet Odds has the Cairns Taipans, the favorites, at $1.47. Crocs at $2.70. Ubaka. Shot clock down in single figures. Loughton fumbles it. Pull-up jump shot going left, rims out. Offensive rebound is done illegally by Ian Crosswhite, and will go the other way.
And Steve, right there, that matchup proved to be a real challenge. Schencher trying to guard Alex Loughton. They actually pulled Schencher in that extra time for a few minutes just for defensive purposes. So we'll keep an eye on that one tonight. Schencher had a huge game offensively last night, 14 rebounds.
Blaylock gets it to Peter Crawford. He's short off the iron. Interesting to see how the Townsville Crocs perimeter shooters shoot the basketball on the road.
Well, they haven't shot the ball on the road all year, Steve, as you see Ubaka get to the basket and thrown out. But this is one of the reasons why I think Cairns will win. Historically, Cedar and some of the other perimeter guys have not been able to step up and shoot the ball the same way on the road as they play with the confidence at home.
But it's playoff basketball, Hammer. Throw all that out the window when the playoffs are on.
Also, Ben Allen came up big outside the three-point line in the second half. Loughton puts it on the floor. Crosswhite steps back. His ball is deflected. Shot clock should be a violation, and it is.
So I don't like the first two possessions for Cairns. They've almost had shot clock violations for the first two possessions. They need to get the ball to Ubaka and play off him to try and get something happening.
0 for 2 on the first two attempts for Cairns. We haven't seen a score yet. Cedar goes hard at the baseline, tries to throw it to Russell Hinder. And Luke Schencher gobbles it up. As Andrew Gaze mentioned, 14 rebounds last night.
Good aggressive drive by Michael Cedar early on. Breaking something off the dribble.
Dillon to Loughton. Feed down low on the mismatch. Crosswhite is fouled by the smaller Michael Cedar.
It's just amazing at how low the scoring has been within the series that these two teams have played. Even with overtime last night, the score still only got to 148 points. The last time we were here last week was only 144 points.
Also, don't forget they had that shocking game here where it was 56 to 51 in the all-time rubbish game of the NBL. But that probably works more in the favour of the Taipans to keep it in that ugly style of basketball, that grinding it out. Because the Crocs can like to get out in transition, shoot up the early ball, and they get running. That's more the tempo the Crocs would like to see.
Crosswhite ties it up at 2. Cairns have never won a semifinal game. They're 0-5 in the semifinal series that they played. Loughton with a low catch, gets it to Crosswhite on some great interior passing. Loughton to Crosswhite.
And Steve, that's one of the things that I think Cairns can do more often. When they get stops, they can explore in the offensive transition. They need to push it up. It doesn't mean they need to spray it up, but they can try and get some easy baskets and accumulate a winning score as well.
You're dead right, Hammer, and as we saw last night, some of their easier shots came in the transition. So they needed to push it up, even if they don't take it, just to explore the options and really try and test the defense out early.
Crosswhite has all the points for Cairns as they lead 5-2. Will Blaylock hit a big 3 last night.
Only a 30% three-point shooter too, Steve, but he was wide open. If he's that open, he's going to knock him down.
This is a matchup that gives Cairns trouble. They get the stop, Crosswhite with the rebound.
That was great defense by Crosswhite, Steve, because he made Schencher get the ball about 4 feet off the block.
Ubaka gets it to Daniel Dillon, just barely. Dillon goes hard to the hoop. Still alive. Russell Hinder reels it in. Crawford will slow it down.
Tremendous intensity early on in this game. Fatigue could become a factor.
Cedar puts it on the floor. His runner off the backboard's no good. long rebound will go out of bounds and go back to the Crocs.
Cedar just lacked a little confidence there. We know he prefers to shoot the long ball, second leading three-point field goal attempt in the whole entire competition. And here, gets to the basket. It's just that little uncertainty about going up there. Relatively easy shot. He's got to make those.
Oh, I think he has to get over that little thing in his mind that doesn't allow him to play as well on the road. He would have made that shot in Townsville.
Crawford goes hard to the basket on the baseline, lays it over the top of the rim. 1 point lead for Cairns.
Crawford's been exceptional, whether he's been at home or on the road. He's playing with extreme confidence at the moment. And if they are to win this game, it's going to come off his hands.
12 points on the season. Peter Crawford is averaging. Had 17 last night. He's also shot at a very impressive 40% from the three-point line.
Cedar picks up his second foul. And Shane, we're talking about this before the game. The way Townsville were allowed to play at home, will they be able to play as aggressive and physical on the road?
Well, they got 3 fouls already, Steve, and normally when you can get to the free throw line early, it makes it very difficult to be able to defend.
And that is a great sign for Cairns if Alex Loughton can give him rhythm early. Crawford trying to turn the corner, gets it to Brad Williamson. Shot a little bit flat. Ubaka.
Brad Williams has been in the game for about 6 seconds, and his first shot's a 3.
That's what he does, Drew.
Crawford extremely confident. Loose ball goes to Townsville. Williamson with time and space, and he knocks it down. He had that rhythm one first. He was ready for number 2.
That is what he does, Drewy, and his second shot is a 3.
He just needed a sider, didn't he? Just to warm up, and he's away.
And he's playing some defense as he gets the block shot on Daniel Dillon. Blaylock for 3. That rims out. Peter Crawford with the hustle.
That was the Achilles heel of the Taipans last night. The offensive boards. The Taipans owned the offensive glass. And again, early signs tonight. The Taipans need to do a bit of job of blocking out. And there's a good move by Luke Shencher down low. He doesn't have that explosiveness about him. He's got those long arms. Very tough to block his shot. Have a look at this. Just gets in there, and it's huge size advantage over Dusty Reichardt. And the Crocs take advantage of it.
Well, it's great touch, Drewy, for a 7-footer to be able to put the ball on the ground and to be able to make that from the block on the run.
And how much has he improved? If we cast your mind back to the final series last year when he was with Perth, he was almost a non-factor. This season, he's really flourished.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to Trevor Gleeson too,
exactly.
Coach of the Year, because he's put him in an environment where he could really contribute. Because last year he wasn't not only a contributor, he almost became a liability.
Dorsey turning the corner, gets into the lane, lays it over the top, keeps it alive with the tip. Out of bounds to Cairns. Roselle Ellis down there. Any rebound has got number 75 around it. He picked up 4 huge offensive rebounds in the second half last night.
He's a warrior, Steve. He is a warrior. There's not many players that go harder and pick up more loose balls and little scrappy plays than Roselle Ellis. And normally you don't have your American playing a role like that, but he is happy to do it and good at it.
Loughton up top with that man Roselle Ellis on him. Lindsey Tate looking for a teammate. Extra pass goes to Dusty Reichardt. He's short. Phil Jones pulls down the offensive rebound. Tate will slow it down. He splits the D, finds a wide open Phil Jones for 3, and he's off the mark. Alex Loughton active on the offensive glass. He's got his second field goal.
It is amazing that Phil Jones can think about his shot that much when he's been such a tremendous three-point shooter all his life. But he's not playing with confidence right now.
Blaylock loses a handle, but it comes to Peter Crawford. Shencher down low. Dusty Reichardt pulls down a big rebound in traffic.
Dusty Reichardt was huge last night, Steve. Didn't play in the fourth quarter. In fact, the Cairns Taipans did not make a substitution in the entire fourth quarter. So when you talk about fatigue, that could be a factor.
Drew, we spoke about this before the game. I mean, I think sometimes subbing is overrated at the end of the game. I think sometimes some of our stars play too fewer minutes.
Phil Jones had a wide open look at that steal. He missed it, and Luke Schencher was able to spin to the baseline. Watch this. Here comes Phil Jones.
Just missed it. Just went for the ball. Probably better off just position rather than going for the steal on that occasion. And Luke Schencher's going to go to the line to shoot a couple. But Hammer, you're dead right. Only these 40-minute games. And maybe with the intensity of the playoffs, you've got to throw your players around a little bit more than what you normally would. But I agree, in general, a lot of substitution shooting going on. Timeout on the floor.
Timeout on the floor, and if you just joined us, game one was played last night in Townsville, went to overtime. This timeout's brought to you by IINet, the official sponsor of the NBL. Let's listen in.
See it coming. Nearly got steal. Okay, so Dino's white, Ian straight up. All right, Dino's white, Ian straight up. Be organised in dice here. All right, organised in the dice. You can work back and forth. If we hit the court, hit the sideline, it's Phil behind. All right, get it as deep as we can. Be patient with it. Got to advance it up the floor under control. Next play down for us. We want to run slice. All right, slice. Work it out.
Very direct with his comments, isn't he, Hammer? Very precise with his the way he pronounces things, and just really direct. So there's absolutely no doubt.
Don't get him started on the accent.
No, there's just no doubt
accent,
about
mate?
the instructions. It's just a hybrid type accent.
What's that mean?
No, but I think he does a good job in just really being direct, so there's absolutely no confusion about what they're running. And that time out there, clearly concerned about the full court pressure of the Crocs and the way he wants to break the extended defense.
One of the adjustments I think Townsville need to make is the on-ball screens for the point guard. And he's up actually now, Will Blaylock, is that every time Cairns just go straight underneath, they need to set their screens a little bit lower.
Lindsey Tate gets it into Ibaka, still on the bench, and maybe he's trying to rest him early. In consideration of those minutes that he played last night, Ellis just with active hand. Man, he looked like he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds.
My goodness. Maybe he got it off before.
He didn't get it off. His whole back was out of bounds, Drewy.
It did look like
there was 3 referees closer than us.
Williamson puts it on the floor, goes behind the back. Schencher. Oh my goodness, he must be inside the circle.
Well, then it's a no call, Steve. It shouldn't have been a defensive.
He was there forever.
He certainly didn't move, and you're right about the no call, but there was no way that that was a foul.
Let's have a look down low. Look at his feet. Definitely, well, not definitely, but it looked like they were inside the little semicircle underneath the basket. And of course, you can't take a charge. But my understanding is you also, unless he's got an illegal position, the no call would have been the correct decision on that occasion.
I think so, and I look forward to seeing Rosella Alice laying sprawled out of bounds on a replay.
14-9. A little over 3 to go. Cairns have sputtered on the offensive end of the floor. It's been a low-scoring series so far. Jones turns down the initial look. Cross-white shoots the long to medium range jumper. Will McCloy, what did he got for us?
Well, Trevor Gleeson, despite being sick, was pretty happy with how his boys have gone so far. Of course, they went on an 8-2 run after the Taipans got up early. He said just to keep up the energy and control the tempo of the game, he feels like they're in control. They've got to stay in control. The only thing they need to improve on is the rebounds. You know, they went very well last night. They work on that. He thinks they're pretty much in control of the game, Steve.
Thanks, Will. Ron Dorsey pulls down an athletic rebound. Cairns down 2 after that cross-white jumper. Down 3. Tate. Brebner, he took a bunch of those before the game with the same result.
That was wet. He looked like he meant to do that. And, a great pass. Good job for the young fella. Brebner coming into the game. Young Melbourne fella.
Dean Brebner. One shot, one successful one. Brad Williamson off the mark. Ellis somehow manages to find Williamson from the corner. Another offensive rebound for Townsville. Williamson stands out of bounds on the sideline. It'll go to Cairns.
Puts his pinky out. Let's have a look at this other one here. Lascelles Ellis getting after it. Yes, definitely out of bounds.
You think so?
I thought in the drill time he might have just quickly got it off before he slid a metre out of bounds. Oh my.
And you know what makes it worse is that every possession here, when it's 14 each, every possession is like gold.
Ubaka back into the game for Cairns. Also, the defensive rock, Aaron Grabeau. Shot clock down to single figures. Brebner feeling the goods. He's off the mark, but Jones keeps it alive.
And although they never scored on that possession, they look a lot better when they get the ball through some hands before they get to their pick and rolls.
Brebner for three. Oh, and he's pumping the chest.
Oh my.
Dean Brebner only played a minute and 14 seconds and didn't trouble the scorers last night. He's come out and gone whack whack. Two trifectas.
Well, Ben Allen for Townsville hit two big threes. Brebner with a rebound.
He's everywhere.
30-plus seconds to go here in the first. Ubaka to Brebner. Can he make it three? Oh, got a rush of blood there on the third one. He wants it back. Why not?
I'll settle for the last one here. Only a second differentiation between the shot clock and the game clock.
Ubaka with his hesitation draws two. Terrible pass. Blaylock tries to find Crosswell. A hook shot way up, and there it goes! Oh my! Three-point basket on a hook shot by Nathan Crosswell.
I think they've called for the TV. They want to make sure that it was before the time elapsed, which is a good call too. You'd rather get it right. I think in real time it did.
It's tight. Couldn't quite tell on that angle. Try and look at the shot clock or the game clock. Yes, got it off.
He did get it off.
Got it off.
Thanks to a three-point arching hook shot bomb by Nathan Crosswell. Over the backboard, nothing but net. Williamson, the conventional way, comes up short. Grabeau in traffic.
A little 2-3 zone that time by the Taipans, so just mixing their defense up.
I like it. I like it, Drewy. Mixing it up, keeping them honest.
Loudon checking his options, turns to the baseline. He's been on fire early in this one.
He hasn't looked this confident for 2 months, Steve, and it's a great sign for him to make two little mid-range jumpers.
Townsville Crocs just can't put the ball in the hole. They've had some good looks, only shooting at 28% from the field as compared to a fairly modest 38% for the Will Blaylock from the car park.
And this is where Cairns need to stay in that, because that's not a shot that Blaylock's going to continually make. And when you're prepared to play a zone, you have to live with them taking what is normally a bad shot.
Have a look at the field goal percentage. 7 of 18 for the Taipans, 6 of 19 for the Crocs.
Ellis doing a good job of slowing down Ubaka in the open court. Aaron Grabeau launches one. Loudon keeps it alive, but it goes to Will Blaylock. Will Blaylock only shoots 32% outside the three-point line, and just like you said, Shane, they got to understand that, wear it, stick with the game plan, and allow him to shoot those.
Make him do it regularly before you get out of your game plan. And that's why Grabeau there, running at him that hard, you need to see whether he can do it 2 times in a row before you make him a penetrator, because that's what he likes to do.
He did hit the tying basket last night. He hit a huge three.
I mean, you can't leave him naked. They went behind the ball screen. He shot the ball in rhythm. Williamson can't find the mark after he hit his, well, that wasn't his first one. It was his second one. He came out of the block shooting, though, didn't he? Crosswhite, he loves the baseline, in rhythm, knocks that down about 17 feet away. That gives the Taipans a lead. We've had 7 lead changes already.
There's no more perfect time to go to a zone when the team you are playing against is shooting 28% and start thinking about that open shot.
You're dead right, they're not hitting it and they're not going inside either. Last time they had Ben Allen down in the middle, he had it slapped it away from him, but he's not a back to the basket player. He's more of a perimeter guy. So they make substitutions instantly. There we see the little foul, but Russell Hinder coming in for Ben Allen and Peter Crawford coming back in for Brad Williamson.
See, I'm surprised they've got Croswell and Blaylock on the court at the same time when you're playing against the zone. 2 non-shooters. You would think that they're going to leave Williamson out there, even though he is 1 for 6, and
try and break that defense. Michael Cedar's the man. He's got that foul trouble, but he is a very good zone buster when he starts getting hot from the perimeter. But they're searching for options. Only shooting at 27% now from the field. So having a look at all their options, the Crocs are.
Peter Crawford. He's standing on the sideline. We've seen that numerous times all year with the extended 3-point line. That just gives them less room.
That's a cop-out, Steve. That's got nothing to do with the 3-point line. Stand in bounds.
It's got to be something, Andrew. They've been doing it all year.
The 3-point line hasn't changed though on the side, Steve. I mean, that's a mental error. There is no doubt about that. You've got the feeling though, oh, look at the scoreboard. 3 points to the Taipans. It feels like they've got momentum and they're up more.
Yep. Last night was one of those games too. You had to keep checking the scoreboard. We'll see if anybody was scoring. It was a low-scoring game as Dusty Rycard gets a nice dish from Ayinda Yabaka when the ball's in his hands. Those are the type of points that they can get.
Well, he's only taken 1 shot. I don't think he's played enough. I don't think he's had enough of the ball. I think he needs to be able to get aggressive, and he can break this game open himself before the half.
Blaylock with a handy move. Ellis keeps it alive. Yabaka in the open court. This is where he does his damage. Grabo in rhythm for 3. Yes! Aaron Grabo with a big one.
Trevor Gleason needs a timeout, I think, and he calls one as expected. Big run. 9-point run to the Cairns Taipans.
And if he was feeling crook before the game, he's going to be white right now.
This timeout is brought to you by Hungry Jacks. It's the flames that make the difference. And that's exactly how the Cairns Taipans are running, because they're hot.
They are hot, and he's got some worries, Trevor Gleason, because they just cannot throw that thing any 25% hammer. They've got the spooks on the offensive end. 1 of 7 this quarter.
Easy points, you're getting easy points, guys. Okay. You had it there, then we just went easy point. Okay, long shots. Tighten up offensively down here. Let's go. Okay. Defensively, we got to do a much better job out there. We're sitting at the back. Any reverses? We're red. Side pick and roll. We got to pre-rotate. Here they're coming. We got no rotation there. Okay, that's a side pick and roll. Get rotate out. Come on. We got 1, 2, 3.
Shane, especially in this zone, we're talking about who's going to be able to step up for Townsville on the road, and we haven't seen it yet.
Well, I think Peter Crawford is the one that can step up and needs to right now. And when you're going to play a great captain's knock, it's not always about when your team is a couple of points up. It's when you're 8 points down, you're on the road, and you're looking for your leaders to be able to say, jump on, fellas, because we can still win this game.
As expected, Michael Cedar's come back into the lineup. This extended, it's almost like a token pressure, but it's having its effect because this time they get the turnover. But even if they're not getting the turnover, it's just getting them into uncomfortable positions when they get into their half-court set.
I know this is early, but the body language of Townsville is not good. Looking at Russell Hinder and Michael Cedar, they are not confident players right now.
Extra pass goes to Grabeau. He puts it on the floor. Skip pass to Ubaka, the man of the fourth quarter last night, to Dusty Reichard from the baseline.
Oh, no. It's a foul on Peter Crawford as well, so that basket will count, and they're going to get the ball back because it was after the shot.
And another great drive and dish from Ubaka. As you see this under the, you're not going to see it under the basket, but it was a foul by Crawford, as you called, Drewy. Great shot from the corner, and momentum is going with Cairns. They've got them down. Now they need to step on their throat if they're going to be able to get this win. It happens now.
Cairns on an 11-0 run. Dillon finds Reichard. Loud steps back. He's been hot. He continues to be. Alex Loudon's come to the party.
Cairns Taipans 6 of 7 from the field this quarter.
And they burp it up with a turnover. Dillon puts it on the floor. Loudon for three. Can't get it to go. Peter Crawford pulls down the defensive rebound. Cedar from the baseline. Slides one in. A much-needed basket for Townsville.
And for Cedar. I mean, that's a big bucket for him to be able to take some confidence out of it, because he's one of those sort of players that if he gets one home, he can sink 2 or 3 in a row.
Well, that's what he did last night in that second half.
Ubaka throws it right to Schenscher. Cedar. He feels better already, you can tell.
It's true.
Blaylock, pull-up jump shots, nowhere close. Daniel Dillon reels it in. Ubaka in the open court. Gets that herky-jerky going and gives it to Alex Lawson. Allende. Ubaka has got it on a string, baby.
I just love the hesitation that he uses. That's his 4th assist, and when he gets going, it's not just for himself.
The Crocs are sucking wind. They are hurting out there physically. You see Russell Hinder going off right now, screaming his teammates, but he's bent over. Very, very tough time right now for the Crocs, and Hammer, you're dead right. The Cairns Taipans have a chance to really put themselves in the box seat with this momentum going their way right now.
Aaron Grabeau takes a rest, but didn't he give them a shot of energy and a scoring punch as well, coming off the Cairns Taipans bench?
I tell you, you've got to give Brebner another look at some stage soon too. He's made 2 big threes in that first quarter.
Yeah, get him in there while his confidence is high. Well, he's never looked like he wants to back down on any type of rebound, but boy, have him knocking down shots too. We want to see him. Loudon.
2-3 zone now by the Crocs.
To Dorsey, extra pass to Daniel Dillon. He can fill it up as well. He had all day to line that thing up. Daniel Dillon from the land of plenty makes it a 13-point lead. Hinder for 3. That's short. Dorsey pulls down the board. Ubaka. And he had Loudon with a smaller man on his back.
Crocs have got their woes on the offensive end, but see, their defense has looked ordinary tonight.
Double team on Schenscher. They find Cedar. Dorsey with another rebound. Dillon.
Good decision by Daniel Dillon. Take a little bit of air out of the ball. Try and drive another nail into the coffin.
Loudon is fouled. Cairns doing a great job of spreading the floor.
They're trying. They've had a look at their zone defense, their man-to-man, their trapping. They're doing all this strategic defensive. Sometimes, Hammy, you just got to go to your straight mano and just test the manhood and the determination individually.
I don't think that Trevor Gleason's seen that at the moment, so he's looking for other answers. And I don't blame him, because he's not getting it.
All right, guys, we have to take a break right. Welcome back to the Cairns Convention Center. As I mentioned earlier, Cairns are yet to win a semifinal match. They are 0-5 coming into this one after losing that overtime game last night in Townsville. But they have come to play tonight.
They have, Steve, and the most remarkable thing, if you had said to me before the start of the game with a few ticks over 3 minutes remaining, the Taipans would have a 13-point lead, and Ayinde Ubaka and Ron Dorsey have not scored, I would have said, you're dreaming.
But they've been so active. They've been active, though. Ron Dorsey's grabbed every rebound in his vicinity, and Ubaka has been, oh, here comes Dorsey. He got one off, didn't he?
He heard you. But that's where other players have stepped up, Steve, and done a good job while their main players are down. And that's a really positive sign for the Cairns Taipans.
Cedar throws it to Dusty Reichardt. Somehow Dusty reels it in. It wasn't the most pretty athletic move, but he got the finish.
It was far from pretty, Steve. Far from pretty. But the 2 points counts. Dunking is overrated. Isn't it, Drewy?
Absolutely.
Dusty laid that up below the backboard. Look at that.
He wouldn't have even got a net touch. I know where he's going.
Hey, right now, it's about, doesn't matter how ugly it is, it's about taking the advantage of this momentum and the stifling defense by the Cairns Taipans causing those turnovers.
They're stingy, Drewy. They've only allowed them 7 points this quarter and holding them 25%. They are a great team in this venue, and you underrated them.
Having trouble on this possession, too. Blanchfield's into the game. Cedar has to put it on the floor, loses the handle. Another turnover for Townsville. Here come the Orangemen. Dillon gets all the way to the rim. Can't make the layup. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for a deuce.
This is terrible defense by the Crocs. Look at this. Good holdout. But just the effort on the ball, it starts with stopping the penetration. If they're allowed to get into the paint that easy, they've got no chance of getting back into this game.
No, you're right, Drewy, but you've got to take your hat off to the way Cairns have played defense at the other end. And I like the way they have experimented when they've got the ball in transition. And they've actually tried to get some easy baskets as well because they're good at it.
Well, they've certainly been very good tonight, that's for sure. Look at
16.
that. 50% overall from the field for the Taipans, 44% from the three-point line.
Will Blaylock bringing it up against the pressure. Cairns have scored the last 6. Points have been few and far between for Townsville. Schencher a long way from the hoop. Cedar. Not one guy recognizing that the shot clock was expiring. That looks terrible.
The body language on the bench, the body language from their leaders on the court is not good right now, Steve.
I tell you what, the investment the Cairns Taipans made into chartering, they chartered a flight straight back after the game last night so they could get back and recover. Now, may seem like a little thing, but when you consider how evenly balanced both these teams are, those little things can become very big things.
Drewy, this game has got nothing to do with the charter flight from last night.
I agree with you, but I thought
absolutely nothing.
I thought it was an interesting point.
Well,
I love the fact they chartered it.
Their sponsor is Skytrain, so get a little plug in for their sponsor.
And they did that, did they? That's a great effort.
Blanchfield rips it through, gets to the baseline. Williamson gets it to Crosswell. His jumper's no good. Daniel Dillon pulls down the loose ball rebound. Dorsey, step back three. Oh my goodness. Latin in the right place at the right time. Everything going in the way of the Cairns Taipans. Even a poor shot works out in their favor.
Alex Latin is everywhere. Amazing how much difference it makes. when he's hit his first few baskets. He's now 6 of 8. He's got 12 points, and he's hustling on the boards and playing some good defense.
It's exceptional defense.
Dorsey trying to get to the rim, and he does. Making something out of nothing. Ron Dorsey can't hit the perimeter shots. Finds his way to the rim. 20-point lead for Cairns. Cedar from the baseline. That's short. Daniel Dillon with the rebound.
Oh, it might have called a jump ball. That's a quick whistle.
You know that call wasn't going to happen if it was even right now.
No, surely you're not saying the referees will make a call depending on what's going on in the game.
They're human, Drewy. They're human.
20-point lead for the Cairns Taipans. They've scored the last 10. 24.7 seconds to go till halftime. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to the Cairns Convention Center. And this is the Crocs' 10th playoff series, and they have never swept a series in the history of the club.
No, they haven't, Steve. And also, this is their 10th. Have a look at the streak, 10-point run in the last 3 minutes and 41 seconds. But of all their playoff series, of which they've had 9, not counting this one, they've only won 2 of them. So they haven't been all that sharp throughout the playoffs.
Well, they haven't, but how many of those players and the coaching staff are involved in it?
No, you did right, but certainly as far as the history of the competition is concerned, they've got some good experience out there. Luke Schencher was part of a championship-winning team last season. Nathan Croswell's won a title with the Melbourne Tigers. Peter Crawford's been in some championship series with the Perth Wildcats.
Yep. Russell Hinder.
Russell Hinder with the Kings.
Dean Brebner back into the game. Only 7 seconds left. Tate trying to turn the corner. Gets it to Crosswide. That's good. Everything going for the Cairns Taipans. Crowd on their feet. They have witnessed their team put a miraculous half of basketball on their Queensland rivals, the Townsville Crocs.
But you've got to be impressed with the Cairns Taipans, the way they've come out defensively. Not huge games from Ayinde Ubaka. He's played well, he's got the 4 assists, but hasn't scored. And of course, Ron Dorsey only has the 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting, but he has 5 rebounds, so contributing in other ways.
First possession for Townsville. Shot clock down into single figures, and they get it into Luke Schencher. Crosswide gets an illegal hook on the long arms of Luke Schencher. Luke Schencher grabbing the back of his neck and saw his head get snapped back as he was trying to go to the ball side.
Gee, not much doubt about that foul, was there? Crosswide just locking up the right arm of Luke Schencher.
Schencher down low. Spins and gets the score. I was having a chat to Ayinde Ubaka after the game last night. He said the reason why Schencher's so tough to guard is because he's just so patient. Waits for the double team and then makes his move.
Long arms too.
And he's 7'2". Forgot to mention that.
He's got touch though. I mean, he could be 7'2", hands like Flipper, and you can't put it in. But I mean, he really is good with his left and right. And he's starting to get a little bit more strength in his core as well. I think early days he was really pushed off the block way too easy.
Dorsey with the jam. Woo! Behind the back to the middle. And Ron Dorsey opens the account in the second half in exciting fashion. Cedar got a whole side to work by himself. Comes up short on the bank shot. Good D by Cairns. Dillon feeds it into Crosswide. Tip spins out. Still the lead is 22. Hinder. He goes hard to the basket. Dorsey blocks it. That'll stay by way of Townsville.
Steve, it would have been nice to be a fly on the wall as we have a look at the athleticism of Ron Dorsey. Has he not blossomed into one of the better players in this league after a fairly slow start in his NBL career here at the Taipans? If I had been Trevor Gleeson, one of the things I would have been saying to the team is, in this second half, test the limits of the officials. Go out there and just be, don't worry about fouls, just be as physical as you possibly can.
Blaylock can't get the three to go. Crosswind with the rebound. Sets the high screen for Dillon. Gets it back. Great ball movement by Cairns. And a three-point bomb by Ron Dorsey.
His shot has just improved. No end. His first game for Cairns, he shot 2 points, Steve. Since then, halfway through the season, he's averaging 9. Then he's averaged 14 in the second half of the season. But I'd be very surprised if we don't see his signature signed up pretty soon.
Sure want to see him. He's been fun to watch and efficient too. Crosswind with the little jump hook from the baseline over a very long Luke Schincher, who looks very tired as well. Blaylock to Hinder. He turns down the medium range J. Schincher, good rip through on the baseline. Crawford's got to shoot it quickly. That rattles out. Daniel Dillon puts the Jets on. Crowd don't like it. They want an unsportsmanlike.
Just having a look at the stats, Steve. Since the first quarter, the Crocs are 3 of 21 from the field. 3 from 21.
That's horrendous. That was a good foul by Blaylock, though. They need anything they can to stop momentum. And the last thing that Townsville want is another transition basket that gets the crowd involved.
And they sure don't want him flying upstairs for an athletic jam. Loud can't reel it in. Hinder gets it to Blaylock, to Cedar. His long-range jumper's no good. Schincher. He's fouled by Alex Loughton from behind.
Another good foul. It's exactly what Loughton needs to do, is make it harder on Schincher, get to the line. As Drewy pointed out, the field goal percentage down to 20%. You don't want them to get any easy baskets at all and send a message to say, you come back here to Cairns, and that's what you're going to get.
That's exactly what they have gotten tonight. Nothing easy. As big Luke Schincher, 15 points, 14 rebounds last night, and was the go-to man in their half-court sets at the Swamp. Trying to do the same thing here, but
we need some help, Steve. The next highest scorer, 12 points for him, is 3 points by Cedar and Blaylock. And they've both only got 1 bucket each.
Dorsey. Cairns will take their time. Reichardt gets it down low with a smaller Michael Cedar on his back. He was able to hit a couple of those last night. Can't get that one to go on the mismatch.
Offensive foul, Luke Schincher trying to establish himself. Dustin Reichardt, significantly outsized, just gets steamrolled, and they call the offensive foul.
Dusty hit the ground like he was shot.
I want to see someone from Townsville show me that they can. Because right now, there is no fight in the dog at all.
Dillon goes strong to the baseline. Cairns have been getting all of these loose balls. Ubaka showing you his handle. Dorsey with the great hustle off of Russell Hinder's leg.
It was a great play. Of course it's a Cairns ball. Great play by Ron Dorsey.
Take a look at the replay. Yeah, you're dead right, Hammond. Fantastic play. Good hustle.
And they are the sort of things that the fans appreciate.
Dorsey, after the great defensive play, hits the bomb. Ron Dorsey's on fire.
He's a superstar.
He is. He can be an all-star in this league. given the right situation and the confidence he's gained from this year.
Cedar. Daniel Dillon doing a great job defensively on him. Gets the stop, and it'll go to Cairns.
Daniel Dillon is a nugget. He's the sort of player you do not want to come and play against because he's strong, he's mobile, and he's athletic.
And he's come to the NBL the hard way. He wasn't one of these prodigies that's come along, went to Arizona, didn't get to play a lot over there, came back, spent some time on the Dragons bench, trained with the Tigers, and now getting his opportunity. And when you're playing alongside like a superstar like Inda Ubaka, that'll do wonders for your confidence.
Timeout charge to the Townsville Crocs. Trevor Gleason has seen enough. 5-point run by the Cairns Taipans, and it's been running all night for Aaron Fern's Taipans. This timeout's brought to you by Cinebet.com. Don't just watch it.
39-10 since the first quarter. Just a dominant display by the Cairns Taipans.
And Trevor Gleason talking to his assistant coaches. I'm not quite sure what they're talking about because they have run into a buzzsaw tonight in the form of the Cairns Taipans.
The old-fashioned
56-27.
They've gone with the old-fashioned standing timeout. You know why you do this? Because you're going to use language that you don't want anyone else to hear.
And so he should.
All right, well, let's not listen to that timeout. Let's check out some highlights from Ron Dorsey, who's got 9, but he's erupted here in the second half. That's his first basket. A little behind the back, two-hand jam. Then he gets his 3-ball working. Yakety yak, don't talk back. And then, after some good D on that end of the floor, he's able to catch and shoot.
And you know what I love about Ron Dorsey? He's one of those players that he doesn't need a lot of the ball to be effective. He'll go get a rebound. He's prepared to work within the framework of the team. And he's not going to necessarily dominate and just go after his numbers. Just a fine pickup by the Cairns Taipans.
Well, like we said, 7 steals last night. He's had a block tonight, 7 points in this quarter. Great role player that can become bigger and better.
Peter Crawford showing a little frustration. He can hold his head up high. He is competing. You said, does anybody care? I get the feeling Peter Crawford cares.
Yeah, he cares. Yeah, no, I agree.
I think they all care, but what Hammer's more talking about is to demonstrate that you care. Show you care in the way you dive on a loose ball, show the enthusiasm, the talk, those types of things.
I'm sitting right next to Shane. How do you know what he's talking about and I don't?
Because it comes with a bond. We have bonded in a way that I know what's going through his head. I knew when he had the ball where to go on the court and he'd deliver it like he's supposed to.
And I knew if I delivered it, I'd keep the spot on the team.
You know what? That was my fault for asking. Dear. Phil Jones gets it to Crossline. A little smooth on the handle. It's amazing how smooth you can look when no one's guarding you. Jones with a fall away that hits the side of the backboard. Blanchfield, why not? Get it going. Luke Schincher. Gets it to Peter Crawford.
See, Crawford doesn't want to hesitate. He's got to let that go.
Townsville working off the horns. Crawford. That'll go. Peter Crawford catches the ball on a little rip through.
Ball went in.
And that's only his second basket, Steve. That's what he has to do. He has to get aggressive. If he misses, it doesn't matter. They're not expected to win from here, but they need to save some pride and they need to plant some seeds in the mind of the Cairns Taipans about what could happen when they come back to Townsville.
And Peter Crawford is playing some great basketball right now, but he's got to recognize he is no longer a role player.
It's true.
I think he's recognised that this season, though. One of his better in his long tenure in the NBL.
Yeah, he misses a couple. You're not going to say to him he should know his place. Grabeau Gets it to Reichardt. Jones goes baseline. He gets fouled, he'll go to the line. And Jones ought to be working on his confidence. They've got a big lead right now. Get some shots up, get yourself going.
I was about to say the same thing, Steve. Phil Jones has not scored in this game. He's 0 from 2 from the field. What an opportunity for Aaron Fern to be able to play him into some form at a stage where he's not going to feel like there's any sort of pressure in front of his home crowd, and to be able to try and take that momentum back to Townsville, because he's the sort of player that can break a game open on the road.
No doubt. He can get you mid-20s off the bench, no sweat. But not in this frame of mind that he's in right now. He's got to get a bust-out game. Blanchfield. Cross-line with the skip. Ellis with the hook shot. Cross-line can't get it, but Grabo can.
I know Trevor Gleason's not well, but his body language doesn't look all that sharp either.
I thought he was actually having a kick there for a little second.
Crawford lays it up and in on a nice pass by Roselle Ellis. Ubaka tries to get this going back in their direction. Throws it right to Blanchfield. He loses the handle. Ubaka pulls up behind the three-point line. That's good. Wow, what a reversal of fortunes.
He was actually going to foul Blanchfield. I don't think he was going for the steal until it just bobbled up, and it was there, and he said, I'll just get my first trifecta.
Blanchfield tries to answer from the other side. Schencher.
Oh.
He runs over Ian Crosswine.
Luke Schencher makes a good point. I'd like to see a look at that, because it's, again, seemed like the defender was inside the circle, and there's the bobbling up that you're talking about. He had no intent of getting the ball, but it just went his way, and he splashes a three.
I think you're right too, Drewy. I think Schencher, Crosswhite was well and truly under the basket.
Timeout on the floor as the nightmare continues for the Townsville Crocs, down 61-34. They have only put up 34 points in almost 3/4 of play. Plenty of smiles and plenty of no smiles. Plenty of frowns. Wow, look at that. That looks like the Townsville bench. Woo, that's a long drive, 4 hours, to witness 34 points with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the third. That's a long drive home, too.
And a lot of them were on the plane with us, Steve, and they were very bullish about their hopes tonight. Understandably, when you have a big momentum-winning game like they did last night, I just thought maybe the Taipans emotionally might have been a little bit fragile, but boy, have they proved me and many others wrong.
It's very manly of you to stand up like that, Drewy.
Dusty Reichardt's hook shot is no good. Roselle Ellis dribbles it down, looking for a teammate. Everybody else is in denial. Crawford, he's got nowhere to go. Terrible looking offense. Ellis looking for that jump hook. That's no good. Both fouled in the open court. Boy, after a timeout, that was a terrible looking possession.
Townsville do not want to finish this game with that sort of mindset of the way they messed around in that offensive set.
You did right, Hammer. Although having said that, I remember back in 1997 in the grand final series, playing against the Magic, we won the first game by 38. And 4 days later, we went out with our tails between our legs and we lost by 8. But fortunately, we came back and won the third. So you can't always read into it in the finals, one-off games.
And it happens all the time. Oh, I'm with you, Drewy.
Will's got a update for us on Trevor Gleason.
That's right, Steve, as the Taipans seem to extend their lead further and further. Trevor was as you'd expect. He's encouraging his boys to keep playing, to keep working. Of course, the win's probably gone by now, but he just wants his boys to stay in it and keep their heads up, because mentally it's going to be a very big game next week, and he needs his boys to send a message. But whether they can do that or not remains to be seen, Stephen.
Ellis has his shot blocked, but he's fouled. Dean Brebner gets the foul.
Jerry, don't misunderstand what I'm saying about Game 3. I was very confident that Cairns would come back and get a win here. But I'm certainly not riding Townsville off to return serve and go home in a very difficult place to be able to go and win. They certainly have the ability to still win this series.
It's going to be a dogfight, we know that, although this game's gone. There's no doubt that...
Well, what about the other series? I mean, what a first game by the Perth Wildcats. Against a team that was clearly the most dominant team in the competition. Perth came out and smashed them.
That when you don't mind taking that pounding on the road, but when you get that sort of damage handed out on your home court, that can do some irreparable damage to the confidence.
Bill Jones, that rattles out. Just want to see one go down for him, see if he can get some flow going. How about Kevin Lish?
Oh my.
That'll be a charge going the other direction on Ben Allen. Nothing going well for Townsville.
Mate, Kevin Lish was big time in the grand final last year as well. That's a good call by the referee. That's clearly a charge. A great defense by Aaron Grabeau. That's what he's renowned for. But you would think now that the whole series turns around and the Perth are automatically going to win. But if there's one team with their backs to the wall offensively that have the ability to be able to get it done, if they can play any sort of defense, New Zealand, because their defense was horrendous. Some of the worst in the competition in game 1. But they have the ability to be able to score like no other team.
That's your last warning, all right?
Trevor Gleason just working the refs. He's not going to be too concerned about a technical foul. And maybe just trying to get something into the refs' heads, thinking about the game ahead as well.
Maybe he's trying to get himself going. Hammer used to do that, didn't he?
Yeah, but I was trying to call the plays and be the point guard as well.
And sell a corporate box at halftime.
Grabeau has it ripped by Ellis. He knew he was going to get fouled. That is one strong man as Trevor Gleason gives it to Ray Hunt. He thought about giving him a tech there, putting a whistle in his mouth.
2 shots now, guys. Here we go.
Ellis was able to hit both free throws last time. That's a rare sighting for him to hit 2 free throws in a row.
Well, you'd think it would be almost impossible with the way his shot is, that he could actually hit 2 free throws in a row. Spot on, Hammer. It's not pretty between him and Nathan Croswell.
Croswell's not a bad percentage-wise. He's got a little conniption halfway through his shot, but Russell is just...
I tell my kids to look away from the screen when he shoots his free throw. I just don't want them to see any of it.
Here's Ellis again with his hands in. That's off of Ellis. Should be a violation. There it is. That's what Trevor Gleason is shaking his head about. You want to go too hard because the officials are not the reason that he's down 63 to 37.
No, they're not. But he's done a tremendous job over the years, Trevor Gleason, and deserved the Coach of the Year award this year. And I've got no doubt that he will find a way to be able to... He's got time. He's got 8 days before these teams meet again. And they'll regain a little bit of confidence when they get back home.
And I reckon this last quarter, just try and use it to figure out what might work next week. Look at your half-court sets. It's almost impossible to do it, but disregard the score and get some value out of the last quarter in preparation for what's going to happen next weekend.
In other words, trick themselves.
Crosswell. got a mismatch with Brebner. His hook shot's no good. Aaron Graveau goes upstairs to pull one down.
The performance by the Townsville Crocs.
You know, in that game between these two, where there was an all-time low, Townsville had 41 in that game at the end of the third quarter.
Joey, how do you do it? How do you just keep coming up with the numbers?
Just like to just look at the stats and break it down, Hannah.
You're a student of the game.
And they're not going to come up with many more numbers here in the fourth quarter.
Unless it's related to turnovers. Because Townsville have 5 assists and 12 turnovers. Certainly not the ratio that you'd be aiming for when you enter a final to go into a grand final.
Well, if we're grasping for straws right here on what Townsville are doing well, that's something that they've been doing well all year long as they tie up Lindsay Tate, find areas on the court where they can trap people aggressively.
I like the fact that Brebner's back on the court now. Good opportunity for him to be able to take his confidence to another level in this last quarter.
Nice pass. Ron Dorsey gloves it. Woo! Boy, he better say hit his body or something. Oh, he said he got his arm. Look at this. Just, oh my goodness. Oh, Ray. You know I like Ray Hunt, but you missed that one. Woo, he just caught it.
Yeah, I like Ray too, but that's terrible.
He got it clean, didn't he? And that, look at the athleticism getting, look how that replay.
I like Ron Dorsey's reaction. He had a negative initial reaction and then just went professional. Because he had every reason to carry on because that wasn't even close to a foul.
Yeah, he can certainly get above the ring, the block shots.
Jones is fouled by Brad Williamson, trying to pick up the intensity on the defensive end. It's that illegal arm bar. Pretty easy one to call.
Right.
And Trevor Gleason just going with his entire bench to start this fourth quarter. Got all his starters sitting on the bench.
Would you play Ubacker in this last quarter, Drewy?
I think I would. Make sure you get him some confidence, get him down there, knocking down a few shots. Not for long. Just get him out there, finish it off.
See, I'm not so sure.
I would.
You imagine if Ubacker did an ankle?
Oh my, that's exactly why I would plan. Plus all these guys, it's a travel on Brebner. Just
he gave it away with his body language. He was too honest.
Yeah.
He's a country boy. He's just going to play on. You're going to have some gamesmanship when you do that.
Daniel Dillon coming back into the game for Phil Jones.
You go, Rose.
Daniel Dillon's done an outstanding job on the boards. He's got 4 points, but also has 5 rebounds. Personifying the effort of the Cairns Taipans tonight.
Blanchfield with his runner, that gets the good roll. And at what deficit, if Townsville's able to creep back in a little bit, at what number do you start to get concerned and start putting players back, like Ubacker, back in?
Well, it's a 5-0 run, and they are certainly not looking pretty in this first couple of minutes.
No, they look like they put the cue in the rack at 3/4 time and started to think about next week. They can't do that. They don't have to do it much. There's that man, Ayinda Ubacker, on the bench, and although he doesn't necessarily score, well, he hasn't tonight, he still had a very, very good game. Distributing the ball, running the team, 5 assists, go along with his 6 points.
Allen. Ellis. That'll roll and that'll go down. And plus, Cairns are a team that have the inability to finish teams off.
Well, we found the number that they're going to make some changes, because after that point, Ayinda Ubacker.
I don't think it's a number though, Drewy. Ubacker's coming back into the game, but more than anything else, it's a timeout. It's about sending the message to say, hey, don't get sloppy now. Now's the time to be able to extend the lead, and you're in front of your home crowd. That's what they come to see.
Well, they'll settle down a little bit as Alex Loughton goes to the line.
5.
after Townsville have put up a 10-0 run. 10-0 run in there, still down by 19.
Lindsay Tate goes out. Ubak has sat a lot. Coming in, he'll take a minute or two to get his legs going again.
We've said it before, but this is good for Loudon. 8 points in the paint. He's up to 13 points now, 6 from 9 from the field. He's had an impact tonight, and it's been a while since we've seen him have an impact on a game.
He showed glimpses last night, although he's 5 for 15 from the field. In that last quarter, hit some big shots.
But we're talking about a guy, Drewy, that was right on the fringe of playing for Australia.
He was your 13th man, really, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, he was terrific during the camps, and you know, he really gave himself an opportunity, and he belongs at that sort of level. So, you know, you're talking about potentially a superstar at this level. I expected more consistency
Across the season. He showed glimpses right throughout of what he's capable of doing.
Dillon gets it to Loud to catch and shoot from the baseline. That's short. Had to shoot it. The shot clock was winding down. Crosswell with a nice pass to Blanchfield. He misses a sitter. Even though he is fouled, he'd be upset with himself for not finishing that one off.
And here comes the timeout from Aaron Fern. It needs to be firm.
Blanchfield's got to make that one. Underneath, I think he heard the footsteps.
He did. He ducked the head.
This timeout's brought to you by Rebel Sport. Go in store, shop online at rebelsport.com today. And although there is a big deficit, the momentum has definitely swung in favor of the Townsville Crocs. Aaron Fern wants to discuss with his
physical
troops
like that.
what's
Play the
going on
passing
with
lanes on your way
Townsville.
back. Good rebound, Vinny. Look to rebound and run that. How you doing, bro? You okay? Hey, 24 right now. Vinny's got 2. Ben, you go up. You stay up, bro. You come and freelance in midfield. You're up, you're back. Okay. Trap the shit out of that. Play the lane. We only got 2 fouls this quarter, so you can be aggressive. Almost got that steal on that one. Okay, keep on working on the rotation. Hey, stay in the drag. Get it in the row. Row's on fire. You get it in the row, you drift to the corner. 2-man pop, they're doing a 3-way switch. So make it a long rotation for them. Here we go. Ready to go. 1, 2, 3, go.
A little more zip in the voice of Trevor Gleason. I know they're down by a big number still, but much better run by Townsville here in the 4th.
As they shouldn't. It was a good point to mention Russell Ellis. He's got 10 points. Been a good inside presence for him in this last quarter in particular. 7 points in the quarter.
Is that a question?
The machine's a little far away from the eyesight's fading a little.
You're right. 7 points this quarter. Up to 10 for Townsville. Dillon against that pressure gets it to Brebner. Now they run their stuff. Good ball pressure by Ben Allen. Ron Dorsey for 3. That's short. Townsville trying to cut into this lead some more. Crosswell skips it to Allen. Ellis, that jump hook's been on the money for him, and he gets another one to go. He's got 9 points here in the 4th.
Well, only 2 points. And the Townsville Crocs have turned it around. They're 5 of 5 in this quarter.
Only 2 points for Cairns in the entire quarter.
Crosswell loses handle. Ben Allen picks it up. And these substitutes are doing some great work for Townsville as Crosswell gets the runner to go off the glass.
14-point game.
You wouldn't read about it.
Cairns have got to get something started.
They need to get
5
back
minutes to go.
to run their set, Steve. Get through some hands. It's not going to get it done just running an on-ball screen and then throwing it up straight away. How they got this lead was from their extreme defense. They got stops and they were able to run out of it. But to only have 2 points in the first 5 minutes and 10 seconds of the quarter is not Cairns-like.
Well, they've had droughts all year long. Remember, they had a 20-point lead. They're undefeated on this home floor, playing with a wealth of confidence in this building, up by 20 at halftime against New Zealand and lost in regulation by 3.
I remember we were calling the game on the Gold Coast and we just couldn't believe that they could let that one go.
Ubaka finds Dorsey from the baseline, not even close. Williamson.
Oh, he missed it.
He misses the lane. This could be a big turn of events. Dorsey with the offensive rebound. They'll run some more clock.
Just make the regular. Was he trying to dunk that? Perhaps his leg gave away for him.
Well, he's rubbing his knee.
He gets the rebound.
Steve, this is something we've seen right throughout the season. Cairns have had these periods where they just lose their way offensively.
Williamson misses. Ellis with the offensive rebound, and he has been super active here in the 4th.
Have a look at the miss. Let's have a look at it. He's going up there. Oh, yeah, he saw the little jarring of the knee. But I think he was going up to dunk it with the left.
Mate, just a right-hand layup off the board would have got it done.
Regulation,
just
right.
Notch those 2 points up.
And they're
valuable. You don't need any more. If he was an athlete, I would say fair enough if you're going to show me a little something.
You got to imagine, even if he dunked it, it was just going to be
the regulation
pretty
just
average. As Ellis he is feeling confident. He just drills both free throws.
This game is not beyond the reach of the Crocs right now, and they've done it with their entire bench this last quarter. 16 points to 2 in the quarter. My!
Croswell from behind on Ubaka.
And that's the sort of energy we were talking about. They needed to be able to leave this game with a bit more pride. Even if they don't win it, they've had a crack and they're going to take a little bit of confidence back because Cairns certainly haven't liked the pressure that the Townsville benches put on in this last quarter.
Loughton back into the game for Cairns. Dorsey, extra pass goes to Daniel Dillon. That's much better looking. Ron Dorsey brings his energy back in on the offensive glass.
And right now, Aaron Ferns just breathed a huge sigh of relief. He's not out of the woods yet.
Blanchfield in the corner. Gets it out of there. Crosswell to Allen for 3. Daniel Dillon with an impressive rebound. They've got numbers to Loughton. Crosswell. Here comes Townsville on the other end. Brad Williamson from the corner is no good. Crossline. Ball's knocked from behind, but Brad Williams will get charged for the foul.
Big fella. A little bit of argy-bargy here.
There we go.
That's what we want to see. Bit of passion. Alex Love is in the thick of it.
What sparked that, Hammer?
I have no idea.
See what we got here. Technical foul. Or maybe just a timeout. That's what we got, timeout to the Townsville Crocs.
Timeout. I think Ray Hunt's given the biggest head fake to the fans, and they all thought it was a tech. There's a little bit of the push and shove. Nothing in it.
Things getting heated, but Cairns look as if they've got this thing under control. 67-53, just under 3 minutes to go. We'll be right back. We're at the Cairns Convention Center, where the Taipans, in 5 tries, have never won a semifinal match. And they are just under 3 minutes away from picking up their first one in front of a sellout crowd here at the Cairns Convention Center. As we mentioned at the opening of the telecast, what a great story here in Cairns. This club was about to go under. They went to their community, picked up the support, and they have responded with an outstanding season, and they are going to go to Game 3 of the semifinals.
You're right, Steve. This is a terrific story, and this town really has supported basketball. And I know with my kids being involved in junior basketball, they've got a lot of people that played up here. They're good at it, and their fans have supported it at a professional level. And every time you come here and this stadium is nearly full, it is just a terrific atmosphere and a great advertisement for our game.
And they're thinking one more time. And there are a number of Cairns fans that made the trip to Townsville. Dorsey with the steal. New back will take some more time off the clock. Good things seem to happen for Cairns when the ball's in his hands. Except that time.
Just as you said it, Steve.
I know.
Put the balls on him. Fellas, as we're in statistical watch, right now, the Cairns Taipans, they're shooting it at 41%, but it's the Townsville Crocs at only 28% from the field. That's right, Steve. Don't give me those googly eyes. 28%. I know it's hard to believe. When you consider that, it's not a bad effort. They're only down by 16. The worst ever in an NBL game is 27%. You've got to go all the way back to the West Sydney All-Stars back in 1986. West Stars, I think. All-Stars, West Stars. How do you do it, Drew? I'm okay with anything memories back in the 80s. Ask me what I did 10 minutes ago and I've got no idea.
Well, they must have heard you, Andrew, because a missed shot would have taken them below that percentage, and a made shot is exactly what they got. Crosswise foul, he'll go to the line.
And I like it. Ben Allen just laying a lump of wood on the back of the box of Ian Crosswhite. Look at this. He's beaten all ends up, so he just goes whack.
And gave him a little bit of a push. Take that with you.
Actually, that didn't look as hard on the replay as it did in real life.
On that angle, it didn't look that hard.
No, it didn't. But it was a good foul. You're right, Drewy. And we've spoken about Ben Allen. He hasn't had a huge contribution this year, but he's a player that I think is going to be very, very good at the NBA level. It'll be interesting to see whether he stays with the Crocs next year. I'm not sure contractually whether he's signed or not, but he's got a big future.
No substitute for being able to shoot the ball, and he can do that. But as it is with a lot of the big fellas, when you got a guy 6'10", you'd like to be a little bit sharper on the low block, and that part of his game still developing.
I tell you though, he's smart. He's very smart. Drewy, he was with the Australian squad in the off-season, and you know, whilst he wasn't close to being able to make the team, he really picked up the systems well. He was a good teammate
and coachable. Very coachable.
Ubaka with that hesitation right before he delivers the assist to Dusty Reichart. Hands in foul. Ubaka will go to the foul line.
And Hammond, do you think Trevor Gleason's making a bit of a statement here by playing his entire bench the last quarter? Because there's a long time between games. 8 days, as you mentioned. But he has not made one substitution in the last quarter. And the Crocs have rallied. There's no doubt about that.
Drewy, the only statement he's making is, I'm going to play a team that can actually score and eat into the deficit. They're 18-8 up this quarter. The bench have been good.
They have.
And the starters should sit there and they should take a leaf out of what the guys that have come off the bench, because they've played with intensity and a little bit more passion.
Absolutely.
Especially that man right there, Roselle Ellis. He's got 11 points in this quarter.
Geez, Steve, you put them up.
Maximum effort from him, though, as he makes that play. Well, he created it, the turnover himself to go get it back.
There you go, he made you look good after all.
Every time I give somebody a compliment, they turn it over.
Let you down. Have a look at Roselle Ellis. Might have got away with a little travel, a little bunny hop before he put the ball to the floor. And just the swipe in, gets called for the foul.
He's a great teammate though, Rosales. Played with Rowe and Coach Rowe, and very tough man, and he'll do everything you want him to do as a teammate.
As you mentioned, Steve, tonight he's been not bad from the free throw line, but on the season he's 43%, which is not good.
Mate, if you're going to shoot it like that, you can't expect much more though.
8-second violation.
Boy, Cairns have limped home, haven't they?
They have. But it's nice when you can limp to a 17-point win. And the locals are very, very happy with what they've seen. And I look forward to Game 3 next week, because this is a great series. Far North Queensland, the grudge match.
Allen. Oh, one bounce dribble going right, showed his skills from the perimeter.
Well, 18 of the last 22 playoff games have been won by the home team. On that basis, you'd say the Crocs go in as a very strong favourite. But we've seen enough from last night and also tonight that they will have a ball game on their hands next Sunday.
Well, Townsville have history on their favor of the last 23 series. The team that won Game 1 has won the series. 23
in a row.
I'm saying, all that aside, Townsville are very, very good at home this year. They are the best team performing at home, winning games at home. It is going to be very difficult for Cairns to be able to come in here and get that win. Townsville will be favourites, but like you say, Drew, they are certainly not out of it, Cairns, and they will take a lot from this game. They are against the odds, but it could go either way.
You know, at the end of the day, guys, you got to knock down shots.
You got it. And play some defense.
Allen comes up short, just as his team has come tonight. Game 2, Cairns had their backs to the wall, dropped Game 1 in Townsville last night, bounced back in front of their home crowd who responded with a sellout, and they destroyed the Townsville Crocs.